Welcome to episode 2 of Ultimate Opinion. I'm your boy Daniel, aka D Money. On this podcast, I intend to be subjective and transparent when giving my opinion on these topics. Before we get into today's topic, I hope everyone had a fun and safe Super Bowl weekend. By halftime, that wasn't even no damn game. I couldn't believe that the Kansas City Chiefs all year was this team that everybody thought, oh, they could go undefeated. They lost one game, of course. Then they get to the big game and choke. But that's not even the highlight of the whole game. Kendrick Lamar did his thing. He has now solidified himself as the GOAT. No debate. Say Drake. Not only will that go down in Super Bowl history, but it will also go down in Black history. And also, I must admit, I'm going to have to give credit to the Philadelphia Eagles, the coaching staff, the players, and management. Jerry Jones, hear me loud and clear. This is what happens when you spend money in free agency and you draft well. Shit happens. As much as I despise the Philadelphia Eagles, I have to give them credit. Jalen Hurts is a top 5 quarterback. Yeah, I said it. Jalen Hurts has solidified himself as a top 5 quarterback. He balled out. And I know I'm one to always give the Philadelphia Eagles a lot of shit when it comes to the players and the coaches, because I'm a diehard Cowboys fan. That's what I'm always be, but I have to give them credit. They did what they had to do. They got the players in free agency. They drafted well, and they did they shit. Jerry Jones, take notes, because this is what happens when you're all in. Also, I would like to say, in honor of Black History Month, Jalen Hurts became the 4th Black quarterback to win a championship behind Doug Williams, Russell Wilson, and Patrick Mahomes. In Super Bowl 59, Jalen Hurts passed for 221 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a rating of 119.7. That's impressive. Also, another Black history fact, Autumn Lockwood becomes the first Black woman coach to win the Super Bowl. She is the assistant performance coach of the Eagles. So that's really impressive. In Black History Month that we had a 4th Black quarterback to win the Super Bowl and the first Black woman coach. That's impressive. Once again, it pains me to say, Philadelphia Eagles, you guys did y'all's thing. I can't say nothing for a year. No more trash talking Philadelphia. For 12 months, I can't say shit. So, on episode 2 today, in honor of Black History Month, I wanted to pay homage to our Black Hollywood legends and icons. As you can see, I'm rocking the MLK shirt, of course, another Black icon. And I want to talk about today Denzel Washington and Forrest Whitaker, one of the 2 biggest icons in Black Hollywood today. Both of these guys have been around for over 40 years. Both of them have done extraordinary work when it comes to acting in movies, directing movies. Just their performance alone is amazing. Of course, as you know, Denzel Washington he's basically in a class by himself, which is amazing. I've always been a Denzel Washington fan, but I felt like Forrest Whitaker is underrated. He doesn't get the love that I feel like he should get. When it comes to Forrest Whitaker, I don't know if a lot of people will put him in the same class as Denzel Washington, Will Smith, Samuel Jackson, Morgan Freeman, Jamie Foxx. He would probably be on another tier. Excuse me, but Forrest Whitaker, if you look at his career and the performances that he has done, you would be like, this dude is actually in that tier. But I feel like he doesn't get a lot of love because in most of his movies, he's actually the co-star versus the star. And today, I'm gonna be highlighting both of their upcomings, the colleges they attended, the awards that they won, the movies that they directed, and I will myself be giving my favorite top five Denzel Washington movies and my top five Forrest Whitaker movies. Of course, it is always up to up for debate. Do you have Forrest Whitaker as a top five black actor? Maybe not. I do. Could Samuel Jackson have took that spot? Possibly. But I want to show love to Forrest Whitaker because, like I say, I feel like he's underrated. And Mr. Whitaker, today I'm gonna show you love, sir. So I'm gonna start with Denzel Washington. I'm gonna break down his early years, of course, his career and his impact on Black Hollywood. And I also have a bone to pick with you, Academy Award winners, with the Academy Award. I'm gonna get to that towards the end, but right now, like I said, we're gonna pay homage to Forrest Whitaker and Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington was born in 1954, excuse me. His father was a Pentecostal minister, mother on a beauty parlor. He graduated from Fordham University in 1977 with a degree in drama and journalism. Already right now, that's impressive. He instead himself on stage acting in the public theater productions of William Shakespeare, Tragedies of Cornelius in 1979. In 1981, he made his film debut in the comedy drama Carbon Copy, where he played a biracial character in search for his father. During the 1980s, you didn't have a lot of movies like that, but that was his film debut, Carbon Copy. Another trivia fact for you. Washington is one of 8 actors who has been nominated for an Academy Award in 5 different decades. The 1980s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s. Denzel Washington has been nominated for 33 awards. Let me say it again, 33 awards, but have only won 6, which is a damn shame to me with the dramatic roles he has delivered us through over 40 years. That's why I have an issue and a bone to pick with the Academy Awards. So right now, I'm finna to break down his awards and nominations throughout his 40 plus years, which he has gifted us. In 1988, he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor of Cry of Freedom. He was only nominated. In 1990, he won Best Supporting Actor in Glory. So that was his first, I guess, supporting award, which, like I said, I'm gonna get to later, breaking down why I have an issue with why the Academy Awards, I guess, pick and choose or whatever. So, between 1993 and 2013, he was nominated for Best Actor of Malcolm X. Get that, he was nominated. He didn't win it. He was nominated. In 2000, he portrayed the Hurricane, which was a boxer in the 1960s that was accused of a triple murder and spent almost 20 years in jail, but after the conviction was overturned, he was released. Again, he was nominated. But finally, in 2002, Denzel Washington won his first Academy Award. Let me say that again. In 2002, Denzel Washington won his first Academy Award. But he wasn't finished yet. In 2013, he was once again nominated in the movie Flight. Of course, if you haven't seen that, Denzel plays a pilot that is an alcoholic. It touches a sensitive subject when it comes to alcoholism and how it affects not only yourself but your family and people around you. In 2017, he was nominated for Best Picture of Fences. He didn't win that. In 2018, he was nominated for Best Actor of The Tragedy of Macbeth. Of course, he was nominated. So, as of today, Denzel Washington has one Academy Award winner for Best Actor and an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Let that sink in for a little bit. So that was the awards and nominations for Academy Awards. So now I'm going to do the Emmy Awards, which is a separate from the Academy Awards. This is another awards that throughout his career, Denzel Washington has been nominated or won. In 1995, Outstanding Informational Series or Special, Hank Aaron, Chasing the Dream. Of course, he was nominated for that. And then in 2001, Outstanding Documentary or Nonfiction Special, Half Past Autumn, The Life and Works of Gordon Parks. He was also now nominated for that. So Denzel, of course, is a living legend. So when it comes to awards, like this guy, he to me, he should have won every damn award that's been offered. Now I'm going to give you some information about him being nominated or winning Golden Globe Awards. Again, in 1988, Best Actor in a Motion Picture Drama, Cry Freedom, he was nominated. 1990, Best Supporting Actor, Motion Picture, Glory, he won. Which, if you remember what I said the first time, that was his first Academy Award for Supporting Actor in Glory. 1993, Best Actor in Motion Picture Drama, Malcolm X. He was nominated. So twice already, the GOAT Denzel Washington has been snubbed, in my opinion, when it comes to Malcolm X. 2000, Best Actor in a Motion Drama, The Hurricane. He won that, which I said he should have probably won Best Actor in Hurricane. If you haven't seen Hurricane, you need to watch that movie. It's so freaking inspirational. It's probably by far one of Denzel Washington's greatest work. If you're a Denzel Washington fan, you would definitely love that. 2002, Best Actor in the motion drama Training Day. He was nominated. So he won his first Academy Award for lead actor in Training Day. But when it came to Golden Globe, he was only nominated. He didn't win that, which to me is another snub. 2008, Best Actor in a Motion Picture Drama, American Gangster. He was nominated. If you guys don't know American Gangster, when I go to give my top 5 Denzel Washington movies, this might be on there. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is. It might be on there, but this is another dramatic role where Denzel Washington plays. Oh my gosh, like, you just need to check this movie out. If you like gangster and mob movies, American Gangster is the movie you guys should definitely check out. Of course, in 2013, Flight, he was nominated again. 2016, Cecil B. DeMille Award, he actually won that. 2017, Fences, he was nominated. 2018, Roman J. Israel, nominated. 2022, The Tragedy of Macbeth, he was nominated. And most recently, 2025, Gladiator 2, he was nominated. And I'm not really a Gladiator fan, but the fact that Denzel Washington is in that film made me want to go see it. I have not checked it out myself, but if you guys have, on my page, let me know how it is. Seeing Denzel Washington, kind of being an older guy in that character. Just let me know how it is if you want to check it out. So now, right now, what I will be doing, and I know everyone has different tastes and different vibes when it comes to top five movies, top five actors, and all that. But this is once again my personal opinion. I'm giving my opinion on my top five Denzel Washington movies. I don't expect you to agree or disagree, whatever, but this is my top five Denzel Washington movies. Number one, of course, is Training Day. Alonzo in Training Day is undoubtedly Denzel Washington's best and most iconic character. From start to finish, he is wildly entertaining as a corrupt cop, using his charm to be likable despite being an unpredictable villain. This role roughly won Washington his first Academy Award for Best Actor. So, before Training Day, Denzel Washington was known to play the good guy, the inspirational person, the coach or whatever. But Training Day is what took him to another freaking level. And I loved it. I don't care what anyone says, agree or disagree. Alonzo Harris, portrayed by Denzel Washington, to me, is the best performance of all time. We can have that debate if you want to, but that's just my opinion. My number two, top five, Denzel Washington movie is, of course, Malcolm X. And one of Spike Lee's best movies, Denzel Washington beautifully portrays Malcolm X. This is one of Washington's most powerful roles as he seems to truly be channeling the civil rights activist. I personally feel like this should have been his first Academy Award win. Malcolm X is a must watch film, not only for Black History Month, but all year. Denzel Washington's performance is genuinely inspiring, making it one of the best characters. For some reason, I don't know what it was. It was early 90s. But Training Day should have been Denzel Washington's second best actor Academy Award. Malcolm X should have been his first. If you get the opportunity to see Malcolm X, granted it's a long movie, you would be like, only Denzel Washington could have performed at such a high level, portraying Malcolm Little, from him being a criminal, serving time in jail, his introduction to Muslim. It is such a powerful and inspirational movie. Once again, if you have not checked it out, please do. Because it's deep. It really is. And my third, Denzel Washington movie, of course, I just talked about earlier, American Gangster. Denzel Washington's charisma is fully displayed in American Gangster, where he plays real life crime boss Frank Lucas. Like many great movie criminals, Frank Lucas is intelligent, ambitious, and ruthless when he has to be. After Training Day, Denzel Washington went through that phase where he wasn't playing of the villain as much. He was once again playing the inspirational coach or the leading guy that was just a role model. But once again, he got dirty. He went to the dark side and he portrayed Frank Lucas. I would recommend American Gangster. Like I was saying, if you like a good old school gangster mob movie, American Gangster portraying Denzel Washington as Frank Lucas, I would definitely portray that. I would definitely suggest you watch that. My number four favorite Denzel Washington movie is John Q. This one is really emotional. It shows that parents will go to any lengths to save their kids, no matter what you have to do, which to me is remarkable. When you're a parent, your kids always come first. And when their health is at stake, you are willing to do whatever. And that's what Denzel did in this movie. Denzel Washington's performance goes to another level where he plays a father experiencing financial difficulties whose son needs a heart transplant to survive. Desperate to get his son on the donor list, he has no choice but to hold hostage some doctors and patients in the emergency room. It's not even that he did this on purpose. His job, it was a specific insurance. Of course, we all know how insurance in this country pretty much suck. And Denzel Washington, when he portrayed John Q, he was pointing at the fact that like he had insurances, but it was certain coverage that wasn't, I guess, liable or whatever. And like his son needed a heart transplant. If you haven't seen the movie, I'm gonna give a spoiler. He was playing baseball. His son passed out where he was having heart problems. They took him to the hospital and was talking about the insurances, and he needed to get on a donor list. With John Q, like the specific insurances he had, it didn't cover what his son needed. So desperate, because what they was gonna do was they was gonna release his son to the local university hospital, something like that. So like he was gonna basically just lay and die. And John Q was just like he went to desperate measures to make sure his son surviving on that donor list. Once again, that's another Denzel Washington movie that I recommend because it's it's inspirational, and it just shows that like when you have kids, you have to put them first, and that's what he did. He put his son first, knowing that he had to go to jail for his consequences. But another spoiler: his son was able to get on the list, and you know, check out the movie if you haven't seen it yet. My number five Denzel Washington movie is Remember the Titans. I'm a huge football fan. College football, I love watching. Of course, NFL. High school is no give or take. I really don't keep up with a whole lot of high school football, but the role of Coach Boone and Remember the Titans is another performance driven by Denzel Washington's charisma and likability. Arriving in a small town, Virginia, to coach high school football, Boone is met with obstacles as he tries to rally his team in the midst of racism. So in this movie, Remember the Titans, Denzel Washington is hired at T.C. Williams High School as a black head coach to take over the team. So before then, they had Coach Yost, who was white. And to integrate, I want to say, correct me if I'm wrong, of course you guys do your research, but I want to say during that time in Virginia, T.C. Williams in that district might have been the first integrated school with black and white, and what they wanted to do was bring in a black head coach, which of course in the early 1970s was met with chaos. Of course, you didn't. Of course, some parents that were racist at that time or didn't really around black people had a problem with a black man coming in to an all white school that has not been integrated with blacks to be the head coach. And Denzel Washington, he was almost probably like your modern day, I'm not going to say Bill Belichick. He was a no nonsense head coach. Like, he didn't care white or black. If you could play, you was going to be on that team. No matter your skin color. If you could play, you was going to be on that team. But a lot of parents had, like I was saying, issues with a black man being the head coach and running the team. But he was able to get the boys together. I want to say, of course, check me, do your research and let me know. If they didn't go undefeated, they might have lost one game. The first season he came in and they won the championship. That's what Herman Boone did. Once again, that's the roles that we're used to seeing Denzel Washington portray. Being the history maker, being the first to do this, to do that. And that was, with it being a football movie, of course, I loved it. But it was Denzel Washington, so I was going to watch it regardless. I felt like maybe he should have been nominated for an Academy Award for this role. Not even the fact because it was a real person, but it was Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington, whatever role he plays, and he should always be nominated for. That's just my opinion. But those are my top 5 Denzel Washington movies. I'm going to go through them again. Training Day, Malcolm X, American Gangster, John Q, and Remember the Titans. Those are by far my best Denzel Washington movies. And like I said, he's made hundreds of movies. Hundreds of. I just feel like those top movies is where he really stuck out. And he played, if it wasn't a fictional character, he played real characters that you could be like, damn, like, he can be a corrupt cop. He can be a high school coach. He can be a father struggling, trying to save his son. Or he can be an activism. Like, the fact that those roles, what Denzel portrayed, was just so amazing to me. And I loved him. Of course, you guys may have some reservations about that. Like I said, there's really no wrong or wrong. There's really no right or wrong answer. Like I said, Denzel Washington been in hundreds of movies over the past 40 years. There's really no right or wrong answer, but I was just giving my top 5 Denzel Washington movies that I can see every day. Every day I can see those top 5 movies because it's inspirational, it's entertaining, and it's freaking Denzel Washington. So also, besides his great acting performances in every movie he does, like Big Sean said in one of his lyrics, kill the scene like I'm Denzel. Every movie he does, he freaking kills the scene. I don't care what it is. He also dabbled in directing films. Now, this is where I may get a little controversial and may get a lot of pushback or a lot of, why did you say that? Type when it comes to Denzel Washington's directing films. So far, Denzel Washington has directed 4 movies. 4 good movies. Let me say that because it's Denzel Washington. Anton Fisher, The Great Debaters, Fences, and A Journal for Jordan. I've always had a pet peeve about directors and screenwriters that act in their own movies. I just feel like I'm not. I just feel like it's kind of selfish. My thing is, if you're gonna direct, direct it. If you're gonna write it, write it. If you're gonna act in it, act in it. Do you really have to do all three? That was always my biggest pet peeve with Spike Lee and Tyler Perry. I'm like, if you want to direct a movie or screenwrite it, that's fine. But give these actors who are up and coming a chance to act in these movies. Like, you don't have to screenwrite and direct and then act in your own movie. That's just always been a pet peeve of mine. That's why I've always had respect for John Singleton, because he's always just directed or screenwrited. I feel like that should be good enough. Like, do you really have to? Let me rephrase that. Like I said, this might sound controversial, or whatever, but I don't care. Is your ego that big where you have to act in it also after you've directed and screenwrited it? I don't think you should, but everyone's different. And I must say, like Denzel Washington and Antoine Fisher, he was, Jerome Davenport, in The Great Debaters. He played another, great black icon in Fences. He also did that. The only movie where he directed where he didn't act in was A Journal for Jordan, which starred Michael B. Jordan. And I'm just like, Denzel, your resume is ridiculous alone. Like, it's amazing. Like, your first four, your first three movies that you directed, you didn't really have to act in that. Like, you could have just directed it. But like I was saying, it could be an ego thing, where some actors feel like they have to act, direct, and and screenwrite. Which I feel like you don't have to do all that. But of course, Dusty, Denzel did that. But like I said, he, the movies he has, directed are good movies. Of course, they've been nominated for awards, and it's Denzel Washington. So, like I said, whatever he does, it's magnificent. I love it. It's amazing. So that was Denzel Washington. I hope you guys got a better understanding of his humble beginnings. That, like, even with him being one of the goats of Black Hollywood, his the fact that he hasn't won more Academy Awards is still baffling and unbelievable to me. But hopefully, these new up and coming generation of actors, they can see them more and maybe get nominated more, because I feel like Denzel Washington should at least have 3 or 4 Academy Awards for Best Leading Actor. That's just my opinion. But that's, what happens when sometimes people get offended with the roles you play. People might not want to vote a certain type of way, which is fine, but I personally feel like Denzel Washington's been snubbed a few times. So this brings me to another great Black Hollywood icon. Like I said, Forrest Whitaker, who I feel is underrated and doesn't get the recognition that he deserves. And Forrest Whitaker is an amazing actor. And when I break down, he might not have the resume like a Denzel Washington, a Will Smith, a Morgan Freeman, a Jamie Foxx, but he still has contributed so much to Black Hollywood, and you're going to be amazed at the information that I'm finna give you about Forrest Whitaker and his career. He was born in 1961. His father was an insurance salesman. His mother was a special education teacher who put herself through college and earned 2 master's degrees while raising her children. So once again, that just shows Black excellence It just shows a black woman doing what she had to do to better herself and her children. While still at Cal Poly, he briefly changed his major to drama. He later transferred to the Thornton School of Musical, the University of Southern California, to study opera and tenor, and was accepted to the university's drama conservatory. He graduated from USC with a degree in acting, which is amazing because this is what Forrest Whitaker liked to do. In 1982, Whitaker made his film debut at the age of 21 in the raucous comedy Fast Times at Ridgemont High, where he played a quiet, naturally football player. So, as you can see, Denzel Washington and Forrest Whitaker, both of their first movie debuts was comedies, where they played either the black co-star to white counterparts. Fast Time at Ridgemont High, it's a classic comedy, but if you ask a lot of black people and if you ask a lot of black people, like a lot of black people probably haven't really watched Fast Times at Ridgemont High, just probably like carbon copy. But at that time, those was movies that was just pointing out. I'm not gonna even say black stereotypes because Forrest Whitaker was a hell of an actor in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. He was a football player. He was a star player, and of course, in Carbon Copy, Denzel Washington played a biracial son. But it just shows that during that time, like those two was destined for greatness because they did movies that maybe today black actors wouldn't do. Denzel Washington, Forrest Whitaker. Also, he has won awards and nomination for the Academy Awards. In 2007, Best Actor, The Last King of Scotland, he won. When it comes to the Emmy Awards, in 2003, Outstanding Television Movie, Door to Door, he won. 2007, Outstanding Guest Actor in Drama Series, ER, he was nominated. 2010, Exceptional Merit in Nonfiction Filmmaking, Brick City, nominated. Golden Globe Awards, 1988, Best Picture, Bird, he was nominated. And of course, in 2006, the Last King of Scotland, he won. So once again, Forrest Whitaker doesn't have probably the resume as Denzel Washington, but he is still one hell of an actor. And one thing that I like about Forrest Whitaker is you can put him in any role and he will freaking shine. Like, that's what I love about Forrest Whitaker. And I just felt like, I just feel like he should get the love and he needs to be in that top 5 of great black actors. But I don't know if a lot of people see him like that, but Mr. Whitaker, I do. I'm now woken up and I now see that, dude, you are definitely a top 5 actor. So, once again, just like I gave my top 5 Denzel Washington movies, I'm going to give my top 5 Forrest Whitaker movies. And most of these movies that I'm fin to give when it comes to Forrest Whitaker, most of these movies he's the co-star, but to me, his role was so important and so magical that I feel like he could have been the star of that movie and just not the co-star. For one, The Butler. Forrest Whitaker gives an exceptional performance as the earnest Cecil Gaines, a black butler who serves in the White House from the Eisenhower to the Reagan administration, which is damn near 30 years. Cecil Gaines is loosely based off the real life of Eugene Allen, who worked as the butler in the White House for 34 years. That The Butler is my favorite Forrest Whitaker movie. If you have not seen that film, whenever you get a chance, check out The Butler. That right there would make you be like, Forrest Whitaker is a top 5 black actor. Yes, he is. The Butler is inspirational. It shows where the American dream is possible. My number 2 Forrest Whitaker movie is Respect. Whitaker star as Reverend C.L. Franklin, known as a man with the $1 million voice. Franklin, who served as a pastor of New Bethel Baptist Church in Detroit, Michigan. Franklin was also the father and singer of songwriter Aretha Franklin and was her manager early on in his career. So once again, like I was saying, in Respect, that movie is about Aretha Franklin, where the amazing, great Jennifer Hudson portrays her, but Forrest Whitaker plays her dad. And once again, if that movie wasn't even about Aretha Franklin, I feel like Forrest Whitaker could have carried that movie because he plays her dad, and his role is so. If you've seen interviews or heard of the Reverend C.L. Franklin, you'd be like, Forrest Whitaker actually got dude down pat. It's really on point. Once again, if you have not checked out Respect, please, when you get a chance, check out that movie. Because once again, Forrest Whitaker, he kills in this movie. My third Forrest Whitaker movie is Hurricane Season. After Hurricane Katrina, Al Collins, played by Forrest Whitaker, at John Hurt High School basketball coach in New Orleans, assembles a team of players who had previously attended 5 different schools and leads them on the path to winning the state championship and rebuilding the community. Once again, Forrest Whitaker, he plays a high school coach. Off the cuffs of Hurricane Katrina, this is another true story where Forrest Whitaker kills that character. A lot of people haven't even heard about Hurricane Season. Granted, yes, it did come out in theaters, but it's one of those underrated movies that nobody really pays attention to. But if you check out this movie, to me, Hurricane Season is almost like another Coach Carter, starring Samuel Jackson. But Forrest Whitaker gives an amazing performance in this film. Check it out when you get a chance. My fourth Forrest Whitaker movie is The Black Panther. Forrest Whitaker plays Zuri, was a Wakanda shaman and mentor to T'Challa, of course, Black Panther, who was eventually killed by Killmonger to take revenge as he saw as a traitor to his father in Jobu. So, I know everyone's seen Black Panther. Of course, Chadwick Boseman and Michael B. Jordan was actually the stars of the movie. But once again, Forrest Whitaker played an amazing role in that movie. And the one thing I like about Forrest Whitaker is he's willing to look that part. If you go to some of his early movies, it doesn't, whatever you need him to look like, he will look like that. And that's what I like so much about Forrest Whitaker. If you go and see Black Panther, Forrest Whitaker, I will say, is actually, to me, he has a bigger role, and I'm not taking anything away from the great Angela Bassett, because I love Angela Bassett. I love you, Angela Bassett. You are one of the goats when it comes to Black Hollywood. But Forrest Whitaker played a father figure to T'Challa in Black Panther. Granted, they didn't show it a whole lot, but when you watch that movie, that's what you see. And once again, Forrest Whitaker could have been a co-star. He could have been the star of that movie. He could have been, because his performance was on freaking point. Yes, it was. And then my last top 5 Forrest Whitaker movie is Big George Foreman. Whitaker plays Doc Brodus, the boxing trainer and mentor of George Foreman. Once again, if you haven't checked out that movie, it's about George Foreman, his boxing career, from him from TV to the grills and all that. And Forrest Whitaker kills that scene. He does. So if you list my top 5 Forrest Whitaker movies, The Butler, Respect, Hurricane Season, Black Panther, and Big George Foreman, Forrest Whitaker only been the leading star in one movie, and that's the Butler. All the other movies, he's been co-stars. But guess what? He could have starred in those movies and not been the co-star and made those movies good anyway. But it just shows that Forrest Whitaker, with the talent he is, that you couldn't even tell that he was a co-star. Because that's how amazing he is. And just like Denzel Washington, Forrest Whitaker also himself directed films, but he did it actually before Denzel Washington got in the game. Forrest Whitaker started doing this in the 1990s. His first movie that he directed was Strapped, that was released in 1993. In his director debut, Forrest Whitaker delivers an afflicting portrayal of urban struggles in Strapped. This raw and gritty drama takes on a journey alongside Dequan Mitchell as a young man entangled in the relentless cycle of violence and poverty. That was his first movie. His second movie, of course, is going to go down as one of the greatest black films of all time. Of course, when it comes to these chick flicks and black women waiting to excel, Forrest Whitaker followed up behind the director's chair with his adaptation of Terry McMillan's best-selling novel. The film revolves around 4 African-American women, each dealing with challenges of love, relationships, and self-discovery in their own lives. So probably Waiting to Exhale in 1995 is probably, as of right now, if Forrest Whitaker doesn't direct any more movies, is probably his best directorial film of all time. In 1998, he did Hope Floats. In this heartfelt romantic drama directed by Whitaker, Sandra Bullock stars as a woman who returns to her hometown to rebuild her life after a failed marriage. Then in 2004, First Starter. Whitaker directed this lighthearted comedy about the adventures of the President of the United States daughter, played by Katie Holmes. And one thing I must say about Forrest Whitaker, I haven't seen Strapped, but I'm assuming that all the movies that he's directed, he has not acted in. And that's one thing I have to give love to him about. He gave other actors and actresses a chance to shine, maybe almost pushing towards that next generation. That's what Forrest Whitaker did. I mean, granted, he don't have the Academy Awards nominations, the Emmy Awards, the Golden Globes have, Denzel Washington has, but he's still one of the GOATs of Black Hollywood, and he needs to be respected as one. And that's why I want to make sure I showed him love today. Because for over 40 years, Forrest Whitaker has been that guy. He has. This is so much wonderful Black history, man. I'm telling you, this is amazing. It is Black excellence at its best. So, Denzel Washington and Forrest Whitaker, they've only acted in one film together. That was The Great Debaters in 2007. But if you guys are movie lovers or keep up with certain actors and actresses, there's also a Denzel Whitaker connection to both actors. Denzel Whitaker, who is named after Denzel Washington himself, coincidentally made his film debut in Training Day playing Macy Gray's nephew. He was a little boy when Denzel and Hoyt came to raid the house. That Macy Gray was just like, Dietrich, that's my nephew. Denzel Whitaker was named after Denzel Washington, but he's not, there's no relation to him and Forrest Whitaker. In 2007, he portrayed James Farmer in The Great Debaters, directed by Denzel Washington, who also starred in the film alongside Forrest Whitaker. So, The Great Debaters, it starred Denzel Washington, Forrest Whitaker, and Denzel Whitaker. That's so freaking amazing. The two guys that he see as his role models, he was given the opportunity to act with them both. That's freaking black excellence. Then in 2018, he portrayed a young Zuri in the film Black Panther, co-starring Forrest Whitaker. If you guys have seen Black Panther, which I'm assuming you have, in the beginning, you see Denzel Whitaker portrays a young Forrest Whitaker when he comes to, I want to say, Compton to confront, to chill his uncle about the activities and about what he's doing. It's you just have to see the film, which I'm assuming you guys have. He's not related to Forrest Whitaker, but I guess since they resemble so much, they always try to get him to play like a young Forrest Whitaker, which is still freaking amazing. So, like I said at the beginning, when it comes to Black Hollywood, there's really no right or wrong answer when it comes to your favorite actor, your favorite actress, your favorite movies, screenplays, directors. But I just feel like Denzel Washington is, of course, the GOAT. If I was starting a movie today and I needed a leading star, I would want Denzel Washington to do it. I said it. Yes, I would. Denzel Washington is the GOAT. He is the greatest, one of the greatest, if not the greatest actors of all time. And actually in fourth grade, when every year we had to do for Black History Month, we had to do, we had to, either come up with who we want to do for Black History Month or the teacher was given to us. I was just like, well, I want to do Denzel Washington. And that was, of course, before trending and all that, I remember Denzel Washington, of course, from, The Preacher's Wife, Malcolm X, Devil in a Blue Dress, all of his 90 movies. And that's why I really wanted to do Denzel Washington, because he was an inspirational to me. And when I highlighted his career, I realized how amazing it was. And I want to thank him for his contribution to Black Hollywood. The fact that he gave young Black actors and actresses a chance to strive to be the best and to just give their best at whatever they do. So if I was starting a movie today, I would want to star Denzel Washington as my leading actor. But if I wanted someone to direct my movie, it would definitely be Forrest Whitaker. Because like I said at the beginning, I love it when a director or a screenplayer or a screenwriter don't act in their own movie, where they just either write or direct. And that's what Forrest Whitaker tends to do. He tends to just direct. So if I had the opportunity, I would let Forrest Whitaker direct my movie, and I would let Denzel Washington be the leading star in my movie. I would love that. That would be an honor, because both guys are just so freaking amazing. They are. Black excellence. Before I close today, I do have a bone to pick with the Academy Awards. I feel like Denzel Washington should have won Best Actor for Malcolm X, Hurricane, and Flight. Halle Berry should have won Best Actress for Losing Isaiah. Why is it that Denzel Washington had to be a crooked, corrupt cop to win his first Academy Award? Why is it that Halle Berry had to be a prostitute in Monster Ball to win her first Academy Award actress? Come on now, Academy Award, you got to do better. Black excellence isn't negative, it's positive. Malcolm X was a positive, inspirational role. Hurricane, a positive, inspirational role. Flight, it touched on the subject of alcoholism. Losing Isaiah touched on the fact that, okay, a mom or a parent could be struggling out on drugs, but if they clean themselves up, what's wrong with them trying to do better and get their kid back? Forrest Whitaker, the butler, why was he snubbed from that? Forrest Whitaker should have won Best Actor for The Butler. The fact that Will Smith is suspended for 10 years for his actions a few years ago. Okay, what he did was unbearable, and I'm not making no excuse for it. It was horrible. Him coming up on stage, slapping Chris Rock all the way back to the East Coast. That was horrible. He didn't stab the guy. He didn't shoot the guy. Academy, what you could have done was made him, suspend him for 1 year, made him come back the next year, apologize, a stiff fine. But the fact that you're going to ban this man for 10 years, come on now, that's ridiculous. You guys have got to do better. When you see these actors put on these good roles, these inspirational roles, vote for it. Denzel Washington's first Academy Award shouldn't be him being a crooked cop. Halle Berry's first Academy Award should not have been her being a freaking prostitute. They are so much more than those roles. And the fact that they had to make history and win those roles is pretty damn disgusting. All this month, if you follow my Facebook page, I've been highlighting Black excellence, Black first. I love my Black people. I love the fact that Black people have contributed so much when it comes to politics, entertainment, civil rights, education, science, sports. We need to be celebrated all year long, not just 28 days of the second month of the year. We are so much more. We've broken many barriers, many barriers. What I just said today, I gave two examples of two amazing, great Black men who are actors, directors, and there's so much more. This is not, like I was saying, a right or wrong answer. We're talented. We're smart. And we just need to be celebrated in the right way. I would love for Denzel Washington and Forrest Whitaker to do at least one more movie together. I think that would be amazing because I was reading somewhere, and of course you guys can go research yourself. Um, the Gladiator. I want to say Denzel Washington said that might have been his last film. He is 70 years old, so that's understandable. But I would love for him and Forrest Whitaker just to do one more movie together. If it's a comedy, a drama, action, I think they could do it. I think they could. I would want to see that. They have given us tremendous, tremendous movies for over 40 years that will live on forever, that won't be replaced. That's what they've did, and it's amazing. So I hope you guys enjoyed today. Me giving my little Black History facts. Um, it's just beautiful history, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for tuning in to my show today. When covering these topics, most of the time, my personal feelings are involved. I would love to hear from you guys, and more importantly, I would love to hear your opinion because your opinion always matters. Make sure to drop a comment below. Of course, subscribe. And I can be reached at ultimateopinion.daniel@gmail.com. Once again, ultimateopinion.daniel@gmail.com. Once again, I'm your boy, Daniel, aka D Money. And until next time, be blessed. I'm out.